me just do the intro. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Perseverance Maremeni, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self Love. If you're joining in for the first time, welcome to the family. Please hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. And if you're returning, thank you so much for the continuous love and support that you are showing me. I do apologize. Today we started late, and that is because we had load shedding. And on top of us having load shedding, our Wi-Fi was not working, so we had to reboot the whole thing and the works, and that's the reason why we are here late today. But you know what? Better late than never. I'm glad that we are all here and we are ready to start with today's episode of Losing in Love. Just one ground rule though for the people who are on TikTok. If you're going to be requesting to log in, the minute you get in, please mute yourself so that we don't have to distract each other as we are speaking. That's the only rule. You just mute yourself and you always just give each other a chance to speak. You know, don't speak over one another. That is all. So basically, okay, I love the fact that people are already requesting to join in to share their thoughts on the topic of today. It's a very touchy topic. Trigger warning, guys. If you see me crying, it's because I'm gonna be triggered as well. Okay, somebody just broke the ground rule. Lorna, you just come in to break the ground rule. We just laid the ground rule to say as you come in, please mute yourself. She's okay, so that you don't distract me or anybody else who will be speaking at that time. Yeah. So basically that is it. And this is my intro, right, to this topic of today. We all know the book of Job. We know that Job was a man of God who was a faithful man of God, that God even was bragging to Satan about him to say, have you seen my servant Job? Have you seen his heart? Have you seen his works? And Satan said to God, if you take everything that he has, take everything, allow me to take everything that he has, and let's see if he will still be a faithful servant. Indeed, God allowed Satan to go and take everything from Job, and at the end of the day, Job lost everything, including his kids, right? And me and you today, as we are sitting here, we are parents to kids who are late. We have lost our kids, and we want to talk about the reality of how do you really feel as the new age Job. Because if you have lost something like your house, your car, like myself, it's not a problem. You can always rebuild, you can always buy new ones. But how are you feeling as the new age Job? Because every time when you lose a baby, people will always refer you to the book of Job, because that's one person who lost everything but regained everything and God restored him. And we want to talk about the real meaning of restoration as a Christian, to say, when you say God has restored me, what do you mean by that? Because restoration, to a certain degree, when it comes to things like kids, with my own personal experience, I'm still unable to replace the child that I had. I'm still unable to completely forget about the child that I had. So if we can help each other break down the book of Job, and also help each other heal, and also help each other, give each other coping mechanisms, and also comforting each other as parents who have lost their kids, to say, what is the reality of life? Christian as you are going to be saying about the goodness of God every day, how strong you are, how blessed you are, what is the reality of how you are really, really feeling about the loss of a baby? All right, that's what the topic of today is about. And we're going to start from the top. Piladi, are you with us, my darling? Piladi? Okay, Piladi is not with us yet. I see maybe she's away. We're going to move on to the next person. Who's next after Piladi? I think the person who's next after Piladi also is away, because I see a coffee mug there. We're going to move on to the next person. We have to keep it moving, guys, okay? The next person is going to be Sans. Sans, are you with us?
Hi, Sandra.
Oh, Sandra, how are you doing, my love?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm also doing very well. You can use your language, but me, I will respond in English for the sake of my peoples, okay? But I can
Okay,
respond
I'll
to
use my.
everybody in English as long as you are comfortable with whatever language that you're using. Okay. Talk to us, Sandra.
I'm a little busy. You can pass. I'll come back.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. No problem, Sandra. Then the next person after you is Ausi. You guys, my site is really bad. I don't want to butcher anybody's name. You guys will help me out to check who's next after Sandra. Who do we have after Sandra? We have Ausi. Priscilla.
Ausaka.
How are you, my darling?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. I'm doing great.
You look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you so much, Sissy. I really appreciate that. I wish I could say the same, but I can't see you.
I'm in PJs already.
Oh,
Wish I
okay.
can't
Yeah, no, it's
visible my
okay.
face.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk to
Your touch
me.
of the phone, okay?
Mm?
I mean, the topic that you are talking about today, ish, it's
It's
really emotional. I'm
yeah.
telling you, because
Yeah.
I remember losing my child. It was in 2018. My child was sick anyway. So going in and out of hospital, but I could see that she was battling. So it was not easy to accept the situation. However, she was battling, like she was a fighter anyway. So it wasn't easy at all. It's not easy even now. I can't even forget about it.
Yeah.
Yabon.
How long ago
So
is this?
it was in 2018.
Okay. Do you have other kids?
Come again?
Do you have other kids?
Yes, I do have one child.
Oh, okay. So I just want to find out from you, Ne, because I believe that this live is going to help a lot of us. You know, we're going to help each other, like if we just share about how we are feeling and where we are. And I just want to ask from you, Ne, to say, how does having your child now, the one that you have, how does that make you feel? Do you feel like this child is replacing the one that is lost, or do you feel like it's a restoration in a sense that you still are a parent, or the type of restoration that we usually have in mind when we talk about God will restore us, in a sense that God will give us back whatever it is that we have lost? Or does it feel like it's a new blessing altogether? Like, I just want to understand from your point of view, how does it feel to have lost a baby but still be able to have another baby, and just how you navigate through the birthday, the triggers, the memories of the baby that you have lost?
You know what, Ne? This what the child that I'm left with, it's my firstborn. And then after losing the second child, it wasn't easy for me to cope with whatever that is happening in my life.
Yeah.
Like ngwana okay, or ke age ya ngwana o wa ausi wa ka ne. So seeing her, like I become very emotional because I used to think that I will try again, but then I just decided to worry. I'm scared. Like I'm scared.
Have you ever attended therapy, or are you believing in certain things that you feel like they're helping you in a way? Is there any improvement in terms of your healing process after the loss of your child?
I've never attended any therapy because of the child was sick. You know, I wanna hang I would understand, but then she was sick. God was releasing her from the pain that she was experiencing. So I believe in that. I don't go for counseling. I didn't go for counseling. Mara, I've counseled myself for it. You know what? This is God's will.
Yeah. And you have accepted it. I hear you, sis. I hear you. Please just stay here with us so that maybe you will pick up a thing or two. I think the next person that has to speak is Mpai Mukwena.
Hello.
Hi, Sisi.
The guy.
Rokona le kae?
Not kataba bua le wena.
Thank you so much for being with us.
I lost my firstborn in 2017.
Yeah.
And then, but she's not replaceable. That I can tell you that. It's only that she passed on 2017. Anyway, she had autoimmune, like she had the rare conditions of some sort. So we were basically living between home and hospital. And then we were told that in the process she developed cancer. And then we had to come back home and stay for her to wait. We had to wait for her to pass on.
So this thing happened from the time she was born. She was in and out of hospital since she was born.
Yes, it's only that they didn't know what was wrong where I am. I'm on the other side of the Free State. I had to take her to Bloom. That's when That's when she was diagnosed. It was 2011, yes. And then she passed 2017.
Yeah. From 2011 to 2017. Yeah, that must have been a very hard period for you, ne? And also, you know, when you are going through certain things, it's like you are on survival mode, you know. So even after the baby passes away, I'm sure it must have been very hard for you to even find a new normal. Because what is a normal without the baby? But also with the baby being here, you were having it hard.
Yes. Even now, some other people, when they see me maybe in town, hey, my mama Masego, where's Masego? Others, they don't know. Because you can't go around and announce the funeral everywhere. Even now.
Sure.
And it becomes worse when you see some of the classmates. She should be 15 by now. All those things.
Yeah. So how do you find a way to move forward from that?
I just moved because what's up perseverance, I used to go for therapy. But what I noticed is that, you know, in a government institution, we don't assign to one doctor for the whole treatment.
Yeah.
So every time when I go there, I found a new doctor.
So you must start from scratch.
And I must relive. So I couldn't heal.
Because there was no progress.
I've just discharged myself. Anyway, we are coping. I'm coping.
Do you have other kids?
Yes. Even after my sister's death, in 2018, I had a baby girl. And the funny thing is that she's the half version of her. She looks exactly like her.
The new baby.
This one, she's not.
You are saying
she's
the difference is what?
Hello?
You are saying what is the difference? It's just that Yana, she's what?
She's naughty.
Oh.
That's all. Because Masego was that collected lady that will sit there. Otherwise, we are coping by the grace of God.
Does she bring out any characters or reminders of Masego the whole time when you were with her?
Even the laughs. Even when she laughs.
But also I kind of feel like no matter how much people can look alike, it can never be the same baby, and it doesn't matter. You can have 10 babies, ne?
No, it couldn't. Yeah, now she's not replacing her sister. Hence, I'm saying that pain. I don't even wish. I don't wish it even for my worst enemy. I don't. The death of a child is something unbearable.
Oh man, I hear you, Sissy. Just stay here with me. We're going to go to the lady right at the top. I don't want to butcher her name. Let's go back to something.
Let's go back to the roots.
Oh, to the roots. Oh, okay, because it's cut short. Yes. Hi, Sissy.
Hi, ladies. How are you?
Good. How are you, honey?
Yeah, I'm hearing the sad stories, and I'm so sorry about that. You know, I know words can never be enough, but at the end of the day, with what you just spoken about, the book of Job, you know, in everything, at the end of the day, God is still faithful and God is still good, you know, in the midst of whatever's. So the biggest thing that I wanted to comment on, it's up when you spoke about being realistic as Christians, right?
Yeah.
And how people tend to misquote this book of Job, sometimes unaware, being insensitive, you know. I guess, again, it's how maybe sometimes how we get this revelation about this book of Job, you know. So I'm just going to share my views and my understanding and, you know, the lesson from this book of Job. You know, especially when we read chapter 19, with everything that Job went through, there was a time where he was questioned. There was a time where he thought he was being punished. There was a time where it was very painful.
He even
you know,
cursed
for
the day
him,
that he was born.
You know,
yeah.
And when we check the book, chapter 19, he does mention all the things that he was going through, right? But what sets the tone with him, he still chose to trust in his Redeemer. So in what he did, he mentioned all these things. He mentioned all these things. But what he said is that, for I know that my Redeemer lives, and he shall stand at last on the earth. You know? So now that shows a person who has confidence despite all the pain that he's going through. Did he complain? Yes. Was it painful? 100%. You understand? But at the end of the day, he still chose to hold on and trust to his Redeemer. So, Mina, this book of Job, for me, it helped me a lot. There was a time I was going through a very, very dark season in my life. You know, a season whereby it is so dark. You don't even see the way forward or the way back. Like, it's literally dark, you know. During that season, when I read this verse, it gave me, it shifted a lot about me. Because most of the times when we tend to go through pain, you question a lot, you get angry. I got tired of being angry at God, and I'm not blaming, because at the end of the day, he's our Father, ne? But it for me, it shifted a lot. Because I was like, you know, me being angry and question, like, it was not helping me anything. Instead, it was just fueling my anger, you know, and a whole lot of things. So when I was going through that dark season, I chose to do things different. It was very difficult because doing something against your flesh and your emotions, it is not easy, you know. So that time I chose to do something different and shift. I challenged myself to hold on. I literally taught myself to hold on because during that time I learned how the enemy, he's an accuser, ne? So when we say certain things, I guess he presses us in these corners, right? Because he wants us to confess certain things in our lives. He wants us to say things of and whatever. And this is real, ne? I literally had to experience it. I got tired of that. You know, in life when you're just tired of being in the playground of the enemy. You understand? So what I did, I challenged myself, and I kept praying. I kept telling God, I was like, Lord, it is painful. Lord, this has happened, but I'm choosing to trust in you. And I said this with my mouth when my body and my feelings were saying the opposites. You know? So with all this, I just want to say this, that we must not forget that we are in a world whereby the enemy, he's doing all these bad things to bring nothing but pain to us. He knows by bringing pain, because our Father, when we hurt, he hurts. You understand? Then automatically people say it's God, you know? But it's really not. There's this enemy that is fighting. He's bringing pain to hurt our Heavenly Father, you know? And with that said, we would say, our God is big. You know, you spoke of restoration. Restoration will not be the way that I, as a limited human being, think it will be. But when it happens, truly it will fill up whatever that was stolen away. That's how God operates, you know? Yes, things may not be replaced. Hence the importance, I think my name, going back to the roots, you know? So the importance of going back to the root, you face whatever that brought you pain, you know? You face it, and it's very important for us to always go back to whatever that brought us pain. If you can, you'll be able to change, but some things are scars, ne? They cannot be changed. But by you going back to the roots and going back to that painful or traumatic situation, you give it a different meaning. Why? So that it helps you, because it will be something that will stay with you in your life, right? So that when you find yourself being triggered, it won't do so much damage. Because most of the times when we haven't gone back to the root cause of things, to acknowledge them, there's power in awareness and acknowledgement. Uzothi say into, let's say they're playing it on TV, it will evoke, let's say you find yourself acting out of character, being so extremely angry and all these other things, Unlike when you are on a journey, when you have gone, but this is what's happening, give it a meaning in your life. Yes, when muscle wins are that thing, when you get triggered, it will hurt, but you act differently. You understand what I mean? So the other thing is, with this Job thing, what I'm learning is bad things happen to good people.
Okay.
You understand? Bad things will happen to good people, unfortunately. This life, it's not what is it called? There's no manual in this life, Bad things will happen to good people. You understand? Hence, we are being told that Job was blameless and upright. He was a blameless and upright man who feared God and turned away from evil. But all these things, the suffering did happen to him. In the midst of our suffering, we must never lose our hope in God.
Okay.
In all these things, we must never lose our hope in God. And, we must know that sometimes it is personal. We might need people to support us and do whatever, but sometimes people are just limited. Sometimes it just needs you and God. In your pain, in your anger, you need to go the way because He's your Father. We sometimes want to prioritize maybe going to people. I think it's the human in us, but there are times where something that's just sacred, they just need you and your Heavenly Father for you to pour your heart out. And then because I've got a lot, but I'm just going to say this last thing because of time.
Okay.
I want to say that in the midst of God's silence, His presence is with us. We can never stress that. And I know sometimes it does not feel that way, but we see it with Job, that now that you spoke of Job, right? He had so much confidence on him. But in the midst of whatever that the enemy was doing, God was with him. And the enemy knew that he could not touch him. It's exactly what he does with us.
Yeah.
He's a bully. With him and his agents, they do all these things. But you are covered. He can never touch us. Yes, he'll try to bring pain, but he never touched Job. You understand? He wrestled Job in God's silence in the midst of his suffering.
Yeah.
But he continuously, God defended his case.
Yeah. I hear you, my sister. I wish, the more you are talking then, I honestly wish you were one of the people who would speak last, like in conclusion. Honestly speaking, I feel like you're dropping such beautiful gems, but I would have loved it for you to drop them right at the end, because I feel like with what other people are still going to share and you giving us this encouragement that you're giving us, honestly speaking, like do you have time to stay? Can you stick around?
No, it's okay. It's okay. Sorry for that.
No, it's not a problem.
I just wanted to dwell on
No. It's not a problem at all. You really are. Your being here is very much valued and it's appreciated, and I really want you here. But I just wish you were one of the people who would speak last, because after everybody has spoken and poured their hearts out, I feel like what you would then be sharing would just be, putting a band-aid. You get what I mean? That's why I'm asking if you would still be around, if you would stick around, so that after people have spoken, then you can come in and then we engage.
No problem.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have Dikgetho. Hi, Dikgetho. Okay, I think Dikgetho. Oh, she's here. Hi, Sissy.
Hi, how are you, madam?
Good, how are you, my love?
How are you?
I hope I didn't butcher your name, hey?
No, you didn't.
Oh, okay.
The topic of today is quite sensitive,
Yeah.
It's a very sensitive topic. So, my experience, right?
Yeah.
I lost a child maybe 18 August, right? Then 2019, I think it was in May, I got pregnant again. Then I had another miscarriage. You see, So after that, I think the time I had my second miscarriage, I was numb. I couldn't feel anything. Like the pain was so sore to a point that at my second miscarriage, I was not mourning my second child. I was still mourning the first one.
Yeah.
I remember at some point, my partner now, I discovered now, he told me that, I think at some point I thought you were crazy because of how severe I was. 1 minute I want to be around people, the next I don't want to be around people. So what I'm trying to say, the issue, after I change anything. Yeah. I'm saying this because it's been years, right? But the pain is still sore.
Yeah.
And the funny part about me is that I can't watch my child sleeping because it brings that image of my first child. I think that is the last image I have. So even now, I'm still traumatized to a point of I don't want to see my child sleeping.
So with the first child, what had happened?
Maybe time heals. Maybe time heals, but what I've experienced is that it Sorry?
Oh, I think there's a little bit of a delay there because I'm asking, with the first child, was it a miscarriage with the first child, or the first child just passed away? Is that why you always have a memory of that child?
The first child. No, I think the first child, it was a stillborn.
Oh, okay.
So it was a full-term baby, and unfortunately, he when he was born, he was sleeping. So that is the image that I still have in my mind. Right. Yeah. So my child now looks exactly like that child. It's a trauma for me to a point where 1 minute I'm at work and something that triggers my mind that is my child okay wherever he is, then I'll call the daycare and ask, is my child is Nyeko's name? So I'll be like, is Nyeko fine? So I think I saw replace Seri. I replaced Seri.
How old is Nyeko?
Replaced Seri. I replace Seri. It doesn't. You don't get healed. You don't get healed because after that experience, right? Lose it. I'm not an emotional person in a way, or if you can tell me, or someone passed away, for example, right? I can feel that pain, or I'll cry. No, I'm not that person. I'm not.
Have you always been like that, or it's only after you lost your babies?
Yes. I'm not. I don't get emotional. Whether you tell me who passed away, it's the same.
I mean, have you always been like that before you lost your babies, or this new thing of you not being emotional only happened after you lost your babies? After. Okay.
Yes. So the only time I panic, the only time you can tell I'll panic, it's when my child is sick. That's the only time I panic. That's the only time I panic, because I remember last year he had I think it was bronchitis or something like related to that, right? And he was taken to medical clinic. He was in ICU. That was the only time I was panicking, and I really that was the time I was crying. But when now, if you tell me that someone passed away, I said like, oh, shame. Okay. I think it made me to have a change of heart.
Did you ever attend any type of therapy after the loss of your two babies?
I did, right? I did attend one session of therapy. Okay, at hospital they give you the therapy before discharge, right? After I read the notes, after reading the notes, I found that the psychologist or whoever was writing like I blame, like I have blame thing.
Yeah, self-blame.
Like as if like I'm putting blame on someone.
Okay.
Right. And to a point where I felt like it was useless for me to attend that. It's like no one is willing to hear for
Yeah.
like getting into a different instead, right? Because I remember I gave birth at 42 weeks.
So you feel like if
And
the baby,
I know-
if the
Yes.
baby, if they induced you maybe earlier, maybe the baby would have survived.
And bear in mind, I went for 2 weeks. I went. They said I must wait for labor. Right. I waited for labor. After 3 days within labor, I went back to the clinic. I told them, okay, labor. The clinic, the lady at the clinic wrote me a letter and said, go to hospital. Then when I went to hospital, they were like, no, man, you are just maybe, it will come. Then they sent me back home. Then after I had to go back to hospital. Labor came, but it was slow. That was 42 weeks. It was very slow. Okay, I'm at hospital now. The labor is low. They are giving me this and that to speed up the labor. It's still not working. The theater, they say it's full. They took me to theater, I think, on Saturday late after they admitted me on Friday morning, right? And I think the most traumatic experience for me is that instead of them to when they were about to operate me, I had the urge to push. So I literally gave birth in the theater, and only to find that my child had an umbilical cord 3 times wrapped around the neck. I'm lying on the operating table. I'm delivering vaginally. I could hear that the child didn't cry. And I had the doctors at the back were like, this baby had already pooped and it's been hours. I'm there, like listening to everything. And in my mind, I was like asking this lady, is my child okay? They didn't answer. So I blamed the hospital. Or like this thing, Madam, it has changed me so much that I don't go to any public hospitals. I don't care how sick I am. I don't go. So the loss of a child.
Yeah, I kind of feel like in your case, Sissy, sometimes maybe getting justice for yourself is the closure that you will need. And I'm not saying closure in a sense that you will forget completely about your baby, but should you ever gather strength to go and, sue, although it will never bring back the baby, but if you feel like maybe one day you might want to sue these people so that you can just get the closure of saying at least somebody must pay for the negligence, because if you are seeing it as negligence and you feel like nobody's paying for the loss of my child, I'm the one who's sitting here with the pain, then one day maybe you must just consider doing that.
I've thought of that, right? But I think in 2018, I think I was still like the pain was very raw. And I remember, have you ever like in the public hospitals, right? They think I don't think when they are pregnant they get all glowed up, they are looking all nice, right? Pregnancy and when I went to hospital, we are I give hospital like when the way they were treating like other people, right? Okay. The lady okay, the nurses per se, they went address because now unfortunately right? But it's not like I could I was not working at the time. So there was like nothing to say, nurse this and this and that. I was just like, but I felt the treatment is because some nurses, they think that everyone at public hospitals, they are not educated. They are from poor backgrounds.
Yes.
They are from all that, And after that, funny enough, the day of my discharge, one of the elders, nurses, I don't know whether I get metrons or what, because she saw how like traumatized I was, she came to me and said, maybe that child, I would say, maybe or something like that. A whole professionalness, a professional.
Patumba Modimo.
So
they're comforting you by saying, or your child was going to be a bad child, so it's a good thing they passed away.
Or like, yes. The worst experience of all, after that, they took me bampia ko wading ya batho ba beng ba tshwereng bana Meadowspeak.
Wow. Sure.
Everyone a nyantsha bana ba bona, and I was there. And I remember my sister-in-law had to drive all the way from Pretoria. Because ne ke sena strength sa ke polelela. O la bona o le powerless. Ba fitla a botsa how come o leave motho o mo soka ga motho lo reng o ne le ba tshwana le bana ba bona.
Yeah.
And believe me, I gave birth today. Then the following day in the morning, I discharged myself. And then they were like, you have the what because when I was like, what's the point?
It's not like you care anyway.
Yeah, so
the damage is already done.
But like the loss of one, it's something else because it change everything about you. Change.
And you know, the one thing that I feel like it hits hard, ne, with every single one of us, the way that we feel, ne, it's the sequence of events that happened in the process of you losing the baby and the things that happen after you lose the baby. I think those things really stick, because if they were to say to you, you have fainted, the baby is not there, you wake up in the morning, they just show you a baby and say the baby is late, then that is it. Then all these traumatic things that you have accumulated, you would not have accumulated a lot of that. You understand? So I feel like the loss of a person or a baby that you gave birth to, you carried for so many months, it's one thing, it's painful, but the things that people do and say, all these other memories, all these other traumas that you accumulate after you have lost the baby, I think that's what really, really sticks more than anything.
Exactly. Like, it sticks so much that after I gave birth and then I had to call my mother at home. You know, I remember my mom saying, on the phone. Literally. I could hear her screaming on the phone.
Ish. Because when as her child, she can't imagine you passing. So what about what you are now going through?
Exactly.
You know, Sissy, we go to hospital so hopeful, you know, and we got out. There's never any thought of you losing your baby, because I can tell you now, with me, when I lost my baby, she was 9 months old, ne? And I'm one of those people that like stocking up. I had stocked up on formula and diapers from the ground up until the ceiling. Do you understand what that means? Now I thought I had stocked up for the whole year. For a baby that didn't even last a year. You understand what I'm saying? So that pain, you now have to take the things that you were storing for your baby, give them away. And when it comes to the insensitivity of people who, the caregivers or the nurses and whatever, I can relate, because now when my baby was still in ICU and her organs were failing one by one, the psychologist that came to me said to me, we were thinking of switching off the machine and taking your baby's organs and giving them to other people's babies who need them. At least you will have a piece of your baby alive. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah. It felt like it's being insensitive. Like unali a problem or something else.
Yeah, like when you are here in this, you are hopeful and you are praying for your baby to live. But now they're already telling you, oh no, when how passed away. Then they come to you and tell you that your baby could have been a rapist, so it's a good thing your baby passed.
So, like, if maybe there are male viewers on your page right now, I would like to say, it's so important. But if Mutwam side I lose someone and Baba is so supportive. I think one of the things like they made me to pull through. I was not like professionally diagnosed with depression, but I was there, Madam Speaker. But because of the support that I got from my partner, most importantly, it helped me a lot.
I also got a lot of help
so
from
much.
Honestly speaking, now my ex-husband and his family, they were so supportive towards me throughout the whole time. I don't know how I would have made it without them, honestly speaking.
That's why I'm saying what like this thing. If I think or modimo or dirile in a way ya gore banna ba kgone go gotlelela ba kgone go gotlelela le ba kwa gore go botlhoko mara ba kgone go gotlelela. You have someone to lean on. So if those o le monna and motho wa gago a lose ngwana, yes I understand gore le mo lositse ka nako engwe, but go care ngwana for 9 months it's different than just planting a seed. You know, the bond, it's something else. Because like I used to cry so much. You know, just because I can't keep it's normal. I would cry so much. You know what, like I'm losing my mind literally. I would be like, because I'm useless to me. But I just know I'm pregnant with my 3rd child. Oh, now I was everything. I wanted everything to be sure. I'll ask questions. I'll ask each and everything. I would want details of, okay, what does this mean? What does this mean? I'm feeling this. What does it mean? You know, and yeah, but hopefully one day I will heal. But
my sister, you just speaking about it like this, I'm telling you, trust and believe. This is part of the healing, okay? You being able to speak about it like this, trust and believe. The more you speak about it, the more you heal from it, and you learn to live with it. Wantara, yo, my heart, guys. I was already crying during the week when I was reading comments because I knew this one was going to be very emotional. I don't know who is next now to speak because I lost count. We're supposed to speak next, guys. Between... Yeah, I see somebody has already unmuted. Mamu Kitty. Yes. If you don't see anybody unmuting themselves and speaking, you can just unmute yourself and speak so that we can just save a little bit of time that we have so that more people can share their stories.
Yeah. So now... Oh, hi everyone, by the way.
Hi, darling.
Now I lost my son 2020, and it was a week after my baby shower. And it was not an easy thing because it's a next one's came like August. But kadi 25 July, ka utlwa pain like like ngwana ya ko mokokotlong. And then I told my grandmother and we called my doctor. When I got to hospital, I explained everything to them. How the nurse round checker, but they're not saying anything. And I'm asking, is my baby okay? Until my doctor arrived and she said, no, let's go to my room so that I can put and scan. And I remember her baby scan and she was like, Mom Kitty, when last did you feel the baby moving? And right then I knew washing. So this nurse has a and the doctor was like, no, it's fine. You know, and they sent me to an isolation because it was during COVID.
Yeah.
And Kisako isolation room, and I could hear Banabala, and now I go Kamomaling. I'm hoping, you know what?
There will be a miracle. Yes.
You know, something will happen, but next. And then the next morning, Bantuela the whole day with the child. And on the 27th, that's when Kilekaya Theatre Kilomupusha. And Hakimupusha, I still had that faith out, you know what? It was very painful. And I remember Hakimupusha on Alim again, Ari. She's a pusher. And but I was like, okay. And they sent me to my room, like and they told me this child has been for over 3 days. So I've been moving around, you know. And it was very difficult. I don't want to lie. I remember the day, like everything. I'm reliving it as early July. So today I didn't even go to work because I'm getting closer to the 26th, and I'm just, I'm not okay. But Mudimu, after I lost him, I thought, Mudimu waka, there's no way I'm going to survive this pain. You need to do something. And I started this shoe drive. I started collecting school shoes just to keep myself busy.
Yeah.
And it worked. And after a year, that's when I got pregnant. Happy. And I thought, you know what? At least now it will fall. But funny enough, I couldn't enjoy my child because now I'm always scared. You know? Bosiu ke ne ke robala le nkgono bosiu ke a jumpa ngwana a qala re ke a jumpa to a point where my grandmother was like, you know what, nke se kgone continue ke robale le wena because e tlo ba wena mo bolayang ngwana one day o tlo go jumpa bo wela hodima hae wa bo. And at 3 months he got admitted le yena ka bronchitis again ICU. And right then I could just feel I was like done with my child is going to die. But I kept on praying. He came back, and that's when I also on the day I collapsed.
Sure.
And I couldn't
the
feel
trauma,
my left side.
The shock.
Yes. And when Hakitsuwamu, that's when I told my family, I was like, you know what, I can't. If I don't find help now, I'm going to die. So I need to go. Admit.
Yeah.
And then I went go hospital. When I was just 3 months at that time, and I got admitted for depression. So I literally lose 3 weeks.
For you to get yourself back, to be the best version of yourself for your child.
Yes, and I came back, I was better and kakazama uphila, but whenever hukala July, I start to relieve all that, like I feel like pila happened to you, and it is very painful. I don't wanna lie. So there's no way utloring oteng or replace it only.
Yeah.
Cause at some point I feel like Mara, maybe even if nebali teng bali too. Having a grave young one, it's not nice, man. It's not nice.
You know, my sister, when you're saying having Bonabali too, it was going to be better. You just reminded me of my son the other day. I think I shared this on some live that we did maybe last week or week before last. The way my son, I couldn't speak openly with my kids about this thing because I really feel like this is part of my healing as well, where he said to me, we're talking about a baby. My little sister came with a baby, and I was like, the younger one was like, yo, mama, I also want a baby. And then the older one was like, no, I don't want a baby. So we decided to sit and have a family meeting about a baby. Are we having a baby or not? Then my son just went like, Mama, agree if Ofunwa was alive, you were going to be having 3 kids. I said, yes. He was like, okay, so now you only have the 2 of us. I get yes. He's like, it's fine, Mama. It's fine. It's just the 2 of us. It's fine. For me, I thought to myself, had I not openly spoken about the loss of my child to my other kids, this would have been a constant trigger. Because even if I had not told them what happened and everything, somebody was going to tell them one day, and the day they have to openly speak about it, it was going to be a trigger. So one thing that I have found to really help me is being able to openly speak about it. Sometimes when they hit you with questions, like they hit kids, plus when they speak, right? They will hit you very hard, but you will just go like, and then you have to come back and speak to them openly because you need them to understand. So I do relate when you say that sometimes you'll be sitting here thinking to yourself, it was going to be the 2 of them,
Yes. I know it's a very difficult thing. I don't think it's something that one can say I can complete, like I've completely healed from. I think it's just that thing, Yauri. It's a wound that stopped bleeding.
Yeah.
But there's a scar that will remind you every time, there was once this person in my life, and the birthdays are high. You're just thinking, by now, how many years? It's just, it's very, and in Trebiling and Timata Hapa is that when I got pregnant with this one that I have now, that one decided 7 months, or you know what, I no longer want to be with you. So now I was pregnant and I had this stress out, okay, can I stress out papa ngwana wa ntshiya.
Yeah.
And now I also have stress out ke tshaba o mo loser ngwana ona wa bona. And at some point I'll be like, but if maybe all in our pity, that one na tla ba ntse a le teng even now,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's very
Oh,
bad.
I hear you, Sissy. Okay, I'm seeing some people asking if they can request, if for those who have spoken, maybe we can just make way for others to come through so that they can also share their stories. And then if there's a need for you to request again, then you can request and come back. But one thing that I wanted to say to you, Mamuketi, is that for me, this is how I would describe this feeling that we are talking about right now, right? For me, I would like to describe it as having had an operation, because I've had an operation before and it is healed. But every time when the weather is really, really cold, there's a pain that I feel around that operation, which reminds me that, oh, you are healed from an operation, but you were once in pain. And that this is like a reminder. From time to time, it will always come back and remind me, oh, Ricardo, you were once hurt in this area. You were once hurt in this area. So I kind of feel like, you know what, in as much as the one thing that we would like to do is to move away from it and celebrate and just, you know, forget and pretend as if the baby's never happened. But this is a part of you that you can't just wipe away completely from your memories. And I feel like these reminders, these triggers, these like, for example, the month of July for you is a trigger. Take it as if it was a scar, and every time when it's cold, you get that sharp pain because of the pain, because of the scar, you know. Yes, it is not as painful as it used to be before, but you still have to acknowledge and embrace it. I feel like every scar that brings that pain, it is saying to you, remember, I was once here. Remember, you once had me, so you're not gonna dismiss me as if I never existed. That's what I feel like. Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for sharing your story, my love. Okay. Hi.
Okay.
Shapu young darling.
I can't complain. This more lining. Okay, so this is really a sensitive story that you are discussing, my dear. Let me tell you that, and differently so that we do have we have it way in a different way experiences. So sorry. So with mine, okay, and I'm glad now I can like speak openly, because previously no, I wasn't gonna do this. So what happened? Okay, I was in a marriage, abusive marriage, whereby this ex-husband
Sorry,
of mine.
let's go back to the roots. Is asking if she can step down. Please do step down, Sissy, so that we can take somebody else. But if you can still stick around, then I will add you last when we do our parting words. Thank you so much, my love.
Okay.
Yeah, you may speak, honey. You may proceed.
Oh, you mean me?
Yes. You may proceed.
Oh, I thought you said like in the lining, and I'm like, oh.
No, not you. I meant let's go back to the roots, because she was asking if she can log out so that she can make space for other people who want to come in as well and share their stories. When you can proceed.
Okay, not a problem.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was in this marriage, like monitoring born, and they give it to you like left, right, and center. I don't wanna lie. So what happens when I lost this child in 2014 actually? So it was in December 2013. Okay, and then come the 8th is my birthday, and then they were bride just to come celebrate my birthday. I was pregnant, I was 6 months. Okay, then that's when the labor pain started. As they're busy buying and so forth. But like Robert Jekamala with the labor pains, because obviously I can't pretend, right? Okay, only the ladies understood. Then some, they were with me. Only in the morning, then that's when I asked my husband, you know what, my ex-husband, he's not my husband. So to take me to hospital, and he was like, no, you know how to drive. You do have a license. You do have a car. I'll have to report to work. So I was with his cousin that time in our house. Then I took a deep bath more now. I've got those pains and then I packed the bag during the night of the 8th. then ke now like ke ja back mola. Okay, ke starta koloi with those pains. Like I could understand that this stop it, and so forth. So and I just told myself, by the time it is, I will park. And then head for Kochaya. And then obviously I will drive. And I was staying in Tembisa, and then the hospital is in Pretoria. Sharp. Luckily, then the cousin is a guy. Then if I'm phone, I don't know. But you guys listen, so then I don't know, for some reason he came back. As I was reversing, then then Angelique Bekete like look like high, we drove up to hospital. And in order for the past 2 months, I lost amniotic fluid because I'm shabby at that time. But he became a gynecologist thing. He was like, we need to terminate this baby. And I'm a Christian. When I go to church, they will be saying, you are not a killer. You're not going to kill this baby until I say so. We understand that. So the least that I was doing to survive with a baby for that period of 6 months, I had to drink like a lot of water because there was no water between us, myself and the baby. Like on a daily basis, like I was drinking a lot of water, let me tell you that, just to survive. Yet, Gyno will tell me, no, we need to abort this. And go again, there will be, no, you don't do that. And then I chose the Gerage side part of it. I continued with the baby until the 9th. Maybe go Velea. Then obviously, Hannah Matla, she was tired and so forth. We went straight to the theater, and then she came, but she was very, very, very little. She was very small, and then obviously she couldn't breathe on herself. Then she was in the machine. That was on the 9th of January until the 17th of June. She was in that machine. They gave breastfeeder, but look like a so that and so for that treatment. I understand. Yeah. Until the 17th, we were arranged with that machine with the gas or no. Why am I going to high? We stayed to go high. It was winter. It was so difficult for her, even for myself. Because we understand it's not safe for us and so forth. Then after a week, we went back to the hospital. I think on the 22nd or the 23rd of June, we went back to hospital, and then she was very critical.
We can't hear you anymore. I don't know, maybe if I'm the only one who has lost her, because I can't hear her speak anymore. Can you guys confirm if you can hear her in the comment section?
We can't hear you.
You can't hear her, ne? Sisi? Okay, I think maybe she's got a network problem there. But I'll just keep her space open so that if she requests again, she'll come in and finish the story. But in the meantime, because of time, we have to move on to the next person. And then when she comes back, we will let the person who is speaking speak and finish. Then she will continue her story after the person who's going to be speaking. So I don't know who comes after her, but I know it's somewhere here. Just unmute yourself and speak, guys. Hello? Panelists.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Sisi.
It's Naki Helena, so I would love to tell my story.
You are more than welcome.
Last year by this time, labor November. So last year by this time, my water just broke.
How many months were you?
6 months. So ha ke fihla mo bara di doctor emlemong anjwetsa theory ya high because of your weight you might have sugar diabetes emong atla a check infection because hands ba insect minwana ya bona they are causing infection and then the metsi a phisa ngwana ha sa le yo mo go nna emong atla anjwetsa hore hey mami we have to make it not labor pains. That's the problem. So bana ba imetse hore nna ke be di labor pains so that ke a deliver. After that ebe doctor tla ba ntjwetsa hore no, after that o tlo tshwara ngwana just for an hour be le yena, then we are sorry. but lucky enough ntate modimo wa thusa ka admitwa the entire July. Then ka di 3 in the morning doctor ne ba check every time infection and level at is jwang. So ka di 3 tsa August doctor in the morning wa tla hore no into infection ya ha also be infection. So o tlo keep mo hospital to monitor you. So the other thing I had into labor pains for 3 days. So I couldn't tell the doctors because they said if I tell the doctors they're gonna insect more infection.
Okay. Who told you that?
Then-
Who was the person who was giving you this advice?
The other doctor.
Okay, so the other doctor told you not to tell other doctors when you are feeling labor pains so that they don't insert fingers in you.
Yes, because they said the moment they are injecting the fingers, it causes infection.
Okay, you can proceed.
Yes, so I think I sister the other night I'm having some pains it's a sister but no you must relax or robale. So then I continue go home, mamela di pain it's on the 3rd of August in the morning. Everything was so good, but ha ke ne ke le mo mpetong ha ke turn the other side. Ya utlwa no ho na le something e tswang. Mo kelellong ya ka ke ke metsi again a kadile again. Yang ha ke ema like yo ne ke bleeder. Then I had to rush mo theater. Then ka be ke fihla ke ba le ngwana wa le preterm. Ngwana a hlaya a ntse a phela. Ke ditse mo hospital about 3 months. Ke ke tlwaetse ngwana. You know what? Ke sometimes ke ntate modimo I wish o la ka feta that time because ke bilele ngwana se ke mo tlwaetse le yena sa ntlwaetse. The moment ne ke le ready hore yes my baby we are going home. Ke nako e lo o la nsia ka yona.
Oh, Jehovah.
And it was so painful. And then unsile mo di dating tsa na tla mo o hlaile ka tsona hantle.
Like the actual birth date.
It was so painful, but ntho e nthusang ha o le bohloko ke alla ke jotse ntate modimo ho bohloko ho tseba wena. But I have been trying hore ke etse e mong, but ho na le that fear. That fear again the journey that I went through, I don't think I will ever have the strength ke bileng le yona that time. Because mo moyeng motho o shwele. E bohloko because if o fumana ngwana wa le preterm wa 1 kg and then a tlo hlokofala a sa etsa 2.5 kg.
Your hope is already high. You are sure that the baby is fine now. You can take the baby home.
Yes, and then and then that week, you know what? This time I'm ready. Let the doctor know what to discharge anytime soon. And it was so painful, but that
So have you been able to have other kids, my sister, or do you have other kids?
I'm not sure. I'm struggling with that term of having another one because I'm still struggling with the pain. And then I think if I'm ready to have another one, but I will never love the other kid like the way Nikerata.
You know what, my sister? Now I would say to you, whenever you feel like you are ready to have because it's very, very important to prepare yourself first. Because I think a lot of us, the mistake that we make is that we want to have another kid immediately after we lose the other one, just so that we ignore the pain completely. But it's always good to listen to yourself first, but also you just sitting and saying I'm not ready and you're not doing anything to at least get a little bit of healing, it's not going to help as well. So in the process of you trying to prepare yourself to be ready to have another baby, you need to be embarking on this healing journey, you know, and also you being able to be here on this live and share your story with us. That is also part of your healing, because a lot of people are not healing because part of being in denial is you being quiet and not wanting to talk about it, not wanting to engage on it. So you being able to speak, you know, and share your story, that is part of your healing. You being here, hearing other people speak about their stories, it's going to help you a lot as well, Wawana, in terms of you getting your healing. And then you will be comforted enough to say, when you decide that you now want to have this baby, it's not going to make the pain disappear or whatever, mara, it's going to help. It's going to make a big difference, you understand that? So I need you to take comfort in that and take heart in that, to say, as you are listening, as you are sharing your story, when you see other people with their kids, like, just share. Now I share, guys. Now I share my story, and that is one thing that has helped me to heal. Even though, yes, when the birthdays come, when the kids remind me and trigger me, when the tattoo that I have of the child is out there and people are asking me, so what is the name of this person? What does it mean? Those are little triggers that for me, I feel like right now, they are bearable, you know, but they are necessary and they are part of my healing and they are part of my story, and I can't write them off. So I need you to also be in that zone, Yagore. The more you are sharing, it's the more you are getting your healing, the more you are being realistic about the reality of your life, so that when you are now ready to have another baby, of course you will be scared, like all the other mummies are sharing here. They're scared when they're pregnant. I was also scared when I was pregnant with my son after losing my daughter. I was scared if something will happen to him. Like, I was scared. You know, when I had my daughter again, I was scared because it's a girl. What if kinale badi? You understand? You tell yourself a lot of things. What if kinale badi or bana banyana banrati? What if this baby also does not survive? You understand what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that you have to go through before you can be okay and just be at that place where you say, whew, I accept the reality of my life. But it's a process, you need to allow it to take place. You need to allow yourself to go through every emotion, every pain, so that eventually when you are ready to have another baby, you will at least have made progress.
Yes, and then the other thing, you know, Hanajan, if I'm telling the story without crying, it means I'm healing. Because at first, I will not even say a word. Yeah.
Oh man, thank you so much, Mami. I really appreciate you sharing with us. I don't know who is speaking after you. Is it Ritumeti?
Yes.
Yes, my darling, you may speak to us. Hi, Sisi.
Hey, guy.
Good, thanks. How are you, my love?
I'm gonna start by saying I think for the past 3 years, I feel like I've waited for this moment to share my story. Sorry if I'm emotional. I hope
it's okay. It's okay.
And I went through that process 3 years ago. Ka di 9 tsa March. Ke bile le a stillborn ka di 9 tsa March 2020. And then I think because of pregnancy, the way it's amazing.
Yeah.
There was a lot of challenges when it came to my pregnancy, and for some reason, I feel like Wanaka along the way prepared me for the worst. I didn't get a checkup, doctor. There were days where I would get bad news. There were days I would get good news. I would go to the hospital and I come back. The good news. There would always be a story in it. Or something would happen. And mentally, I had to prepare myself for the day that I was going to give birth. I knew that when I can tell you, I knew that as much as Kia through the process of being, or throughout my pregnancy, I knew that there would be a chance that I might come back with bad news. So, by the 9th of March, 2020, I went to the hospital. It was around 11 at night. Was that the previous day I was at my happiest. Really happy. He was kicking. I had makeup on. I looked beautiful. I took pictures. I took videos. That's why sometimes I feel like I'm prepared for the worst day. So I could,
And then at some point, when I didn't buy like every other mother would. I bought the smallest clothes that I could. I think I spent less than 1,000 rand buying clothes, buying jewelry, or preparing one. I mean, if you are preparing for one, you wouldn't go and also spend that like that. I spent like less than 1,000 rand. That one I can tell you. I had a bag. My water broke. I 11 at night. I even walked to the hospital. I don't live very far. I walked to the hospital. I got there. Even if they said, "Hi, Wena, did you just walk?" Can I walk because I live nearby? Then they tell me, "No, you don't do that." They escort me. Go labor room. I sat there for 30 minutes. Didn't necessarily to attend me. Check the heartbeat. ECG, I think, machines. And then these two nurses, they look at me. I'm always there because people are gonna story whether I was bleeding or like I would be in pain or the baby would be turning in the positions and it's so I would always be a constant visitor. So they knew me. So when I walked in, but how Malapan? They will say Malapan, why now? I get sure because this is my first child. I'm going through the process. Obviously, I've sat down with my mother. She's spoken to me about it. She's told me what happens when you're about to give birth. I've spoken to a lot of people, so I know, get ready. Like, no, my water broke, and then I walked because Kidula across, like, you guys know me. I go in, these two nurses, I mean, you expect a heartbeat,
yes, of course.
These nurses, they are searching. You can tell by busy more, but they are searching so hard. They don't know what to say. Okay, but no, we're waiting for your doctor. He's not far. When I am what's happening because I could have beat young one. Hey, the two nurses, but we're not gonna lie to you. Obviously, we are aware that you understand what is happening currently, so we are searching for the heartbeat, but it's not there. We cannot find it. And then we want to use another machine. No problem. I think an hour went by and then my doctor came through. How are you doing? And then goes through the process that I remember you and I, we had conversations about 1 hour how because of the complications that you have gone through. And you feel like we are at that point where you and I have to now sit down. I think my nurses have confirmed it with you that there is no heartbeat, but I'm going to go through the same process. He does it again. He turns around and he looks at me. I told you that there were two ways in this. You would either walk out a beautiful baby boy or I would give you 1 hour stay. And at this point, I know you are there and you understand how one has And then when was the last time you felt a kick? Honestly, I feel Mabani because Mabana was at my hip. I little video. Like, Madam Speak, in denial,
yeah.
I went through emotions in one day. Video, but look, I had videos of my time. It was moving. But today, the whole of today, I can't feel I'm move at all. Okay, so what do you want me to do? Do you want me to take you to an emergency C-section or do you want to give birth when you are ready? I feel it would be for me to go through, get a C-section and not walk out with a baby because already one has a lady. Can I not wait till I push one and he's okay? I've had a baby, yes. There will be evidences that but a scar is something that I can live with. And then the psychologists, they come in while game dilation. They come through, they talk to me. It's a story already, but I feel also and then these ladies, they come, my students, they come to me and they tell me they've spoken to my doctor for a very long time and they currently one of those rare cases where a mother goes through pregnancy and there's a lot of complications with the baby inside the belly, but the only way to help the baby is when the baby survives and then that's when they can try to assist you. But if it's a stillborn bakupo where the more test with whatever remains of the baby that they can get from him. He was 37 weeks when I gave birth. They're going to ask for a few things for the placenta, a piece of the skin, so that they can determine what was the cause of death.
So that maybe even for your next pregnancies, you don't suffer the same thing again.
So then I went through the labor and I pushed out the baby boy. The hardest thing was that I pushed out a baby boy. And then so that I can see him from afar. And rooming with these nurses, they were on the side, but they were like, "Are you okay?" I'm not crying, I'm not even crying, I'm not even sharing a tear. He's just sleeping more peacefully. So we're a baby that came through the wall peacefully, although Nalena, we were sick all along. So and I pray, I really hope that you would live. I had so much hope for him. But I feel and I feel like I don't want to like after so much that we went through,
You just give up on me like that.
On the last day, so what am I gonna do without you? The father came, I think you need to come through to the hospital. My water broke, please come through. Please leave him there. Papa is on the way, he's just nearby. And then he comes through. I've never seen a man broken like that. That poor man going through all these emotions. I have still not cried.
It's the shock.
With so much anger and so much hurt. The father, he's going through emotions. My colleague are starting to phone me. Everyone is arriving. My parents, they flew them to Richards Bay. They flew them here because I stay far. Everyone is there. Everyone is going through the emotions. I'm sitting there. I cannot believe it. That after so long, I waited for you. It will fit that fail. Then a few days later, after the funeral, I had to go back home, go to Lelebazwadi because I could not. There was just a lot going on. I feel that I was still young. I went through something that was very painful at a very young age. I did not think that I was prepared enough to go through what I went through, as much as I said that I was prepared for it. But I don't think I was. You will never be prepared to lose a child. It doesn't matter how long you've had conversations with yourself, looking at yourself in the mirror, or the encourage that you can do this. You will never be ready to give birth to a child.
You always hope for the best, even when you can see already it's a 50-50 chance.
It was a very traumatic experience. And then a few days, I sat down with the psychologist, and then Kababusa did they get everything that they wanted from me so that they can do the test for Mwana. And then the doctors, they came and they said, medicine, they're unexplainable. So there's cases where they cannot even determine the causes of death.
It's rare cases. It's a rare case.
Yeah, they will. So they will rule it as an unnatural death because they don't know whether this was natural or unnatural. They will rule it as an unnatural death. But I felt that it was not enough. I gave you guys a piece of my child. At least give me an answer. Give me closure. Give me something to go back to. And then they made assumptions that maybe where you were staying, or things like that, because in Richards Bay it's very humid, it's very warm. So, and then there's a lot of defect trees and stuff like that. So then they said, maybe it must be one of those cases where you've inhaled something, or because of the mold, this could be it. But we cannot put it down in writing and say that was it. We can only assume. Yeah, and then I sat down with a psychologist. She spoke to me from a woman point of view. I'm going to speak to you from a woman to a woman, and I'm going to speak to you from a mother to another mother that I've just lost a child. And then she told me that it's been almost, I think at that time it was 8 years since she had lost Banabahai as well. And then she said that she knows that it's painful. It's going to take me some time to open up and talk to people. But every time, even if after medical aid has stopped paying her because Rostopadi session, I can always come back to her, give her WhatsApp, and then we can talk about it. She's going to be there for me. And then she advised me, write a letter to your son. Write a letter to your son and just tell him how you feel in a letter.
Yeah.
I wrote a letter to my son. I narrated how I saw life really, and I still have the letter with me. It's in my wallet. I
That's
carry it
actually
with me
something
every
so
day.
beautiful that I feel like a lot of us should do here. The people who have shared and those who are in the life. If you have lost a baby, I feel like you writing a letter to your baby, it's a beautiful thing to do.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I wrote a letter to my son and I explained to him how I had high hopes. He was the first grandchild. My parents were ready for him. I was ready for him. I mean, my colleagues, everyone was I don't think people understand when you are excited for something and they get excited with you, and the disappointment in your face when you have to tell them the bad news that they all looked at me, Bambusa, have you really cried? Because we have not seen you cry. And I was honest with them. Like, I even told my boss, I don't think you understand how mad and how angry I am at this point that I cannot even talk about it. I spent 3 years, man, speaking without praying. After that day, I prayed for the hospital. 3 years, I stayed far from God. You betrayed me. You prepared my heart for a child that I never got to take home. If you loved me enough, why would you want me to go through that?
Yeah.
If it's unfair. And they prayed with me. Because this is a process that I need to go through. You guys don't understand how I feel.
Yeah.
Somebody might have lost a child somewhere, but what they went through and how they felt is not the same as mine. We went through the same thing. Yes, we've both lost children, but how they felt and how I felt might not be even the same. And then I went through everything. I went through the process. It was hard. I wrote letters. I still kept them. I kept the clothes. You must bury the clothes. I never give it to another one. I did already decisions. This is my child. This was my money that bought these clothes. I will decide when I get rid of them or when I give them away. I never wanted anyone to tell me how to cope with my loss. I wanted to do it on my own.
Yeah.
And then, so I became pregnant again. I was blessed with a beautiful baby boy. He's healthy. He's with me. I'm sure if you follow me, you would see him. I post him every day. I'm very grateful for that. But after I lost my baby, I decided, because there was a huge part of me that I felt I had lost and that I would never get back. But I felt like if I do not have another child, I did not have something else to live for. Because I spent Ningwaha wanting to die. That even if I don't wake up the next day, it was still fine. Well, I've got nothing to wake up to. And then having another baby, for me, was a savior. If I did not have the baby that I have now, I would have not survived. I've tried so many times to commit suicide. I've tried to be run over by a car. That I wanted to end my life because I did not have something to live for. So when I had the baby that I have now, when I had baby Lisedi, I was at my happiest, but I was also scared. Because having a baby after a loss, it's very difficult. You fragile like everything. I couldn't go to work freely. I have to come back to check if he's okay, if he's still breathing. At night I wake up, because for me it tells me bad thing. Why is something wrong? I had nightmares. I had so many nightmares of losing Banabaka Boboche. I could not. And then eventually, Kangwala as many letters as I could. Some of them I've kept them, and I would go back to Kidibala and have my baby, my current baby with now. My best friend just came on live.
Who's your best friend here, honey?
She's here, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, she was a great
Solufelo.
Like,
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But And then I sat down, little baby, said, "Ke mmala di letters that I had wrote to little brother. I even told baby. I mean, baby said it's just one now. He's 14 months. He doesn't know anything. But I would read him the letters that he must be aware of it. I didn't know whether baby said he could understand or whether he knew what I was saying. But you have a baby, you have a big brother, and things like this happened, and I really hope you're not going to repeat history because I am not going to be able to survive it. You are like you came through as a savior because without you, I wouldn't be here. And 14 months later, we're celebrating Baby Lisedi, and I'm really happy. But I've always told people that I don't think you ever heal from losing a child. I feel you always learn to live with the pain that you went through. That is how I've been coping. Or I went through the process. I went through the pain. I've had my share. And I have not healed from it because when I talk about it, I still hurt. I still feel the pain.
Yeah.
But I've learned to live with my pain. There's nothing I can do. I will never bring Rethabile back.
Yeah.
And that is how I've been surviving with my new baby, and I'm happy. But I will never forget that I'm a mother to two. I'm a mother of two. I'm not a mother of one.
Yeah.
I might not have him physically with me, but I gave birth to him, and he gets a male the period.
Oh,
yeah.
Man. Thank
That's
you
my
so much.
story.
Thank you so much for sharing with us, Ritumetse. And for me, I feel like what you are sharing, you are dropping bombs, because you being able to have another baby, that you feel like the baby saved you from yourself, but at the same time you are able to appreciate this baby that saved you from yourself, but you're not dismissing or pretending as if the baby that you lost actually has disappeared, because you're acknowledging the fact that you're a mother of two. And that is such a beautiful thing, because I feel like that is one thing that a lot of us make a mistake on, because it's either you are going to pretend as if that baby never existed so that you can, just close that can of worms and suppress the pain and the emotion and everything, and then the day that opens up, it becomes a problem. And also being able to have a baby that you want to compare with the baby that is late and whatnot, but you being able to appreciate and acknowledge the baby that you have now, who is now 14 months old, and you appreciate him so much because this baby literally saved you from yourself, the way you are saying, Hore, you attempted to take your life several times. I feel like that is such a beautiful thing, that these are things that we're supposed to be even sharing with our kids so that they understand what they mean to us. I feel like we are the woke parenting generation. You get what I'm saying? And for me, like I'm saying, that I always have conversations with my kids about their late sister, right? But I feel like what you just shared with me now has inspired me to say, you know what, as the years are going by, from time to time, I have to sit them down and remind them these things and talk to them and make them understand that in as much as I'm their mother, I'm providing for them, I'm this, I'm that, they also brought so much into my life. They brought so much meaning and so much comfort, even though they can never replace the one that is late.
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing, my darling. I really appreciate this.
Thank you so much.
I'm telling you, these stories that we are sharing here right now, they're gonna save a lot of people's lives. Okay. Who do we have next, guys? We are running out of time. I think we have like 10 minutes only, and there are so many of us here. Oh my gosh. Who do we have next? If nobody wants to speak, anybody who is confident to jump in can speak. Hi, Fulbero.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I was not from the next one, but I see no one is speaking.
Yeah, if nobody's speaking, you just jump in. And I would like to apologize to those who are still requesting, because I'm not going to allow any more people in, because we need to wrap up the live now, okay, guys? I apologize for that.
Evening, ladies, and thank you so much for the stories that have been shared already. It's inspiring and also installing healing to us. My story is a bit different, and I don't know, because my child that I lost was unborn. So I struggled to have kids. So for me, this was the child that we have been praying for as a married woman. We've been praying, and God was not answering, and it was taking long to be pregnant. And then it was in 2018, in May, on the weekend, I think it was around on the 5th or 6th of of May. So I went to a gyna to check because I was not feeling well. I had my period, and after my period, I keep on bleeding. So I didn't know what was the problem. I went to a gyna. The gyna checked me, and I also shared with the gyna that I've been trying to conceive and nothing is happening. And the gyna said, just check and say, maybe you've got cyst or fibroids, so you must come back. But that doctor checked me and then said, okay, no, everything is fine. Maybe you must reschedule another day. We must check, maybe you might be having fibroids, so you must come back. So that was Saturday. On Monday, and on Tuesday, I went to work. When I was at work, I collapsed in the office. When I collapsed, I then asked for my husband to come pick me up at work, and I was taken to the hospital, private hospital. I won't mention the names. And then when I arrived at the private hospital, they were trying to check what's wrong with me. I didn't even know, because what happened is that 1 minute I was feeling very hot, the next minute I'm feeling very cold. So I was on and off. And then when I arrived at the hospital, they're checking running blood. They took my urine and then they took a blood test. Then a nurse came after running the test and said, congratulations, full fellow, you are pregnant. I and my husband was there in that room. We got very excited. We hugged each other. And then I immediately called my mom and tell her the good news, because this is something we've been expecting for a very, very long time. At the same time, but I'm still not okay. I'm weak. Then they said they're just gonna admit me to see what could be the problem. And then when I'm still there, another doctor this time, because the one who said congratulations was a nurse. A doctor came and checked, and then they said there's something wrong with you. There's no pregnancy. So then I got confused, because the nurse said congratulations, and then they said, okay, we need to take you to X-ray. They instructed I drink a lot of water so that I can be full of liquids inside. I was taken for scan, and then they checked there in my womb. And when they check, so this person was checking, another professional, I'm not sure if it's a doctor, because they are performing tests. That person told me, there's nothing inside your womb, so you cannot be pregnant. Okay. There's nothing at all. But your stomach is full of liquids. There's liquids in your stomach. We really need to check what is it. And then when they check, that doctor said it's blood. So your stomach is full of blood. So what happened is that it looks like your tube blasted. So we really need to go and operate you. Who's your gyna? They're asking me about who's the gyna. Lucky my gyna works in the same hospital. It was private hospital. Then I said, okay, I will call and find out where the gyna is. Then I'm finding the gyna. Apparently, then they said, we really need to admit you. Then I said, okay, no, can I come back tomorrow? Then that doctor said, okay, it's fine. So when I'm about to go, another doctor, this one I don't know, say, hey, lady, you can't really go. If you go, because I'm the one who first checked you, I'm going to lose my license as a doctor. This is a matter of serious. So what we are finding out, you are bleeding internally, or something happened internally and you are full of blood in your stomach. So if you have already fainted at work, it means we can lose you any moment. So if I release you and you go home and anything happened to you, I will be found at fault. So please, can we admit you? So after she explained, then I understand the seriousness. And I got admitted. I called my gyna, they came. The next thing I have to go to theater, same time. I'm not even given time to adjust. So I'm so confused, because from congratulations, it's next thing you're not pregnant. Next thing you need to go to theater. We need to operate you. It's just a lot. All is happening in one day. And in few hours, maybe it was just in less than 2 hours, all these things are happening. So it's a lot for me to adjust. Hence, I wanted to go home. And then, so when they checked, they realized, no, it looks like you were 8 weeks or 9 weeks pregnant, but your baby was not inside the womb. It was in the tube. So what happened is that the tube blasted. And then when the tube blasted, obviously the baby can't make it. I mean, the baby can't grow inside the tube because the tube is too small. It's not meant to grow babies. Then I'm going to theater. I'm going to be operated. I don't even have a chance to do. Kuri, it's kind of like we have to do this thing. I don't have a choice.
It's a matter of life
we
and
go
death.
to theater. What traumatized me is that when we were in theater, everyone in theater was all the doctors and the professionals that are inside. They are men. There's no female. So I felt like I can't relate or no one understand what I'm going through.
Yeah.
What traumatized me, at theater they've got lights and everything and scissors and all that. So I got in with another bed that was mobile, and then they have to put me on this bed that is not mobile, but it's got a big screen and a big lights there. How they put me to this other bed, it's like two guys, one in front of me hold my legs, the other one hold my upper body, which is my hands, and they throw me to the other part of that bed that is not mobile. So I felt like I was a cow at that moment, and I'm seeing so many scissors that I've never seen. And I don't know what's going to happen here, but I know they're going to operate because they said they need to cleanse and take everything and do whatever that they have to do to save myself. And unfortunately, they have to tell me we can't save the baby already. There's no baby anymore. Fine, I had to go through that. And after that, I'm fine. I'm recovering. The next thing they cannot explain to me, like they take pictures. So I could even see inside my stomach. I could see the tube. I could see the blood. With technology these days, you are even able to see
in
everything.
3D,
so that has created closure for me. But then after that, I had to get counseling. And the doctor then told me, I asked, so will I have another baby? The doctor said, unfortunately, chances of you falling up again, it's of falling pregnant, their minimum. Then the doctor explained to me, as a woman, you have two tubes. You have the right and the left. Yours one, the right one is gone. So if you have 12 months to fall pregnant in a year, it means with you can only have like 6 months, not 12. So your year calendar is not 12, it's 6. But you can fall pregnant if the other tube works, which we don't know. But we can check for you. But we can't promise at this stage. We can't even. I don't know why for me I was thinking another pregnancy instead of just adjusting. But I know someone can say it was just 8 weeks. But for me, I was already excited. And even if it was just hour of knowing that I was pregnant, because it's the child I've been praying for and hoping for, I was very excited. So I had to deal with the idea of having a baby, knowing really I was pregnant, and at the same time, no, there's no baby, I lost the baby. So it was just too much in one time. But then I was feeling very angry because this thing, they happen 2 or 3 days after I've coming from seeing a gyna. So I didn't understand how could a gyna have missed that I had ectopic or that I was bleeding because of pregnancy or because I was pregnant, and that a whole professional doctor didn't see that. I felt very angry to say, I don't understand. You even scan me, you touch my stomach, you check everything, and then you said you couldn't even pick up that I was pregnant. But I think because they didn't run blood tests, they just did urine. So
that's why.
It's another thing, doctors, and it was another thing, but it was just so much to take on. Lucky my mom was there when I came back from the hospital, and we slept together. But at night, I was sleeping. I couldn't sleep for the first 3 nights. The whole night I was sleeping. So when I was sleeping, my mom woke up one night and told me to stop crying. And I told her, you don't understand. And I was angry. And that's when my mom told me, I've also lost a baby time ago. And remember me, at this time she has never said that to me. She said, I've also gave a birth to a child, and mine, I carry 9 months, and I went and gave birth, and I came back home only to find out the nurses did something wrong, and that baby didn't survive. But she never told me my whole life, and now she's only telling me because now I'm crying and grieving. And I realized, but my mom, I mean, she's old, she's 72, but I realized, wow, our parents sometimes, because it looks like if I didn't go through that, she would have never
You
disclosed
never would have known.
that. Yes, and only now I'm realizing, oh, so I had a bigger sister. And it's something that I've always wanted to think, or I wish I had a sister or a bigger sister. I've got a sister, but it's a younger one. So now I'm realizing, oh, so I would have had a sister, I had that child live long. But my mom is telling me only because I'm also going through something like this. So it took me long, but because I talk about it, and I got better. And then in 2020, I lost that child was in 2018. And since I was told the chances of me getting pregnant, I mean, I've got 1 tube, there's no guaranteed. They were like 50-50 or even maybe less than 50. But in 2020, with the grace of God, I got pregnant, and it was a baby girl. Now my girl, she's almost 3 in September. And for a woman out there who have 1 tube, it's possible, because it was possible for me. And even though other doctors, I was advised not to even try to have kids after that. And you get to be told so many stories. And even though I've got a child now, it doesn't replace that one.
Exactly. Somebody was saying, I love what somebody was saying in the comment section, where they were saying there's no small death, no matter how early the pregnancy was, but the pain of just, losing that hope that you had in your heart that you're gonna have a baby, it's just as excruciating.
Yes, and I forgot to mention that the day that I came back from the hospital, a day after, my neighbor sent me WhatsApp saying we got, they got a baby. So they were letting me know that we are blessed with a baby girl. And I cry a lot that day. I was very angry. And only after years that I realized they were not wrong. They were just informing a neighbor that we are blessed with a baby girl. And they didn't know what I was going through. And so that child, it's a neighbor's child. She's almost 4 now. 5. And then she comes to my house almost every day. A week can't go. But then it's a reminder to me that my child would have been more or less same
age group.
And when I see the neighbor's child, I see my child on that neighbor's child, even though I never got to even know the gender of that child. But you can never forget, even if the child you didn't carry 9 months, but the fact that you once conceived, you always imagine, or you could have had the baby. And even now, when I'm saying I've got another one that is almost 3, it doesn't take away. I don't stop thinking about the other one that I could have had. But I am healed now, because I don't know. I'm healed. I'll talk about it.
Scars are there. Scars, whenever it gets
also
cold,
hearing
you will feel
other
it.
women's stories. Yes. Thank you.
Oh man, thank you so much, Sissy. I really appreciate you sharing your story with us, because every time when somebody is sharing a story, when you go through the comment section, you can see people actually relating to what you are sharing, because you are not the only one. But you being able to share, it's comforting for you, and it's also comforting for other people who are watching it at the same time. And I love this. I love what we are doing for one another on this live. I love what we are doing. Thank you so much, Sissy. I think we have one last person who has not spoken. The people who are on request, unfortunately, I can't accept you guys, because we have to wrap up now, unless if maybe we agree that we do a part 2 of this live. If we're going to be doing a part 2, you guys will suggest the date and time, and then the one that gets the most votes, then we can do a live and have a part 2 of this one. But unfortunately for this one specifically, I can't allow, because I see 6 people are requesting already and we can't have them in because we won't finish today. Okay. Last but not least on this one, we have Victorious Ofunwa Ho.
Hello, thank you so much. Good evening, ladies. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I think I'm in a point where I really don't know what to do with my life because of what I've experienced. So I'm 25 years and I've had like 4 losses. Like I'm only 25. So I'm not gonna get into details because we are behind. I see like time is not as against us, so just gonna highlight here and there, here and there, here and there. So my first was in like 2019. I was doing my second year at varsity, so I'm an orphan. So, I think the only thing that I actually told myself is that education is the only thing that I have that will keep me going. Education is a husband that will never leave you because once you get your qualification, So I met this guy, we fell in love. It was so amazing. So amazing. And I found out that I'm pregnant, my first pregnancy, doing second year at home. It's like creepy. So basically, the only family I have is my sister. She's also at PE, trying to live her life, making a life for herself and stuff. And on the side, trying to. So now I discovered that I'm pregnant. I share with my guy that, hey, look, it's like this. And unfortunately, I don't know why most men change when, there's a baby that is coming and stuff. I really don't understand. I was like very young. I think I was like 19. So he moves on. He leaves me and I'm there with a baby. I don't have a good background. Basically, rest is the only place I call home. I don't know what I'm going to do. And it's almost, I think it was the last semester, so I had to go back home. There, my grandmother, of which it's not really a home for me. So I go, and guess what? Unfortunately, I got kicked out because we had a disagreement with my uncle. So they actually kicked me out of home. So I had to go and cruise at my friend's place, and here's me, I'm pregnant. So I reach out to him and I tell him, hey, please, can we talk? Can you help at least? Because now I don't have a place to stay. I'm carrying your child. So now, he's like, you can come. He was actually from Bloemfontein. He's like, I'll send you money, come. I went. So when I was that side, my friend's mom is like, when you decide to come back, babe, I'll rent a room for you. I'll pay. Although I can only help with a blanket, with the little things, some things you'll come this side, you will eat this side and stuff. As long as you have shelter, and I didn't even disclose to them I'm expecting. So I stayed there, I think for like a month, and then I went back. I think it was January when I came back at Joburg, and then Feb. And then I think registrations were opened at around Feb. And then I had moved into the new room. So I only had a sponge and 2 blankets. I didn't have much. I used to do things at my friend's place and stuff. And unfortunately, one night I started bleeding and wow. Guys, I'm very young. I don't even understand what all this is. I'm frustrated. There, I just went at Blom because he actually felt pity for me, not that we had fixed things.
Yeah.
So now I start bleeding and I text my friend, I'm like, friend, can you please request for me? Because like, I'm bleeding now. I don't know what's happening. So, friend requested for me in a clinic, and when I got there, unfortunately in the car, it got worse. So the Uber guy actually had to carry me inside, guys. I had just imagined I'm just by myself with a man who does not even know me, and I just had to say, dude, I'm pregnant. I just had to open up because I was in his car. And I'm like, this is what is happening. And it's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, who's gonna clean them? It's like, look, it's okay. I'll make a plan. Again, he left me in then. I don't want to talk about how I dealt with everything when I got there because I'm little, feeling ashamed and stuff. Fast forward. And then I went back to school. Yes. I don't know how and why I gave him a chance again because he screwed me up in the first place. So now I'm like, you know what? Anyway, this is my vision breaker. I first love her and stuff. I'm still stuck in the 20s, you know what? Maybe the things are gonna change. Maybe manje kuzoba different. I gave him a chance again. Again. Now this time was actually during my last year. I fell pregnant again. And now I'm like, what? So now I don't have a plan where I'm gonna go again. So rest was the only place to go home. At least when we're going home, I would remain there until December. I actually find a place to go at. So now, here's me again. I think it was the last semester again at school. So I had to reach out to my father's friend to say she's a female. Like, hey, I have a challenge here. I don't know who to talk to. I have nobody. Because I could not even tell my sister because we made each other like believe, we're going to go to school and try to, get our qualifications and then we live our lives because that's the only thing we actually have to hold on to. So I speak to this father's friend of mine and I'm like, hey, me, it's like this and that and that and that and that. She's like, there's somebody I know at the file who owns a thingy, the campus corner, so I can talk to the person Guti Sevenza Lapo and then so that you can save something. And guess what? I did not even disclose about the baby because I just told her that I'm finishing school. I don't have anywhere to go after here. And now I don't really have a plan. Can you please help? So she's like, no, I can help you get a temp job and then apply for something. So sharp care. I get the temp job. I started working. I'm expecting, morning sicknesses, cramps, this and that and that and that and that and that and that. I had to pick up bottles at the end of the business day, working day, clean up, do crazy things. Like campus corner would get so full to a point that would actually complain when we had to knock off Wuti. If we're knocking off at 12, we're actually gonna leave at 2 because we have to clean up the place. And the time I'm expecting, and the only thing I have in my mind is that you gotta work because you've got nothing. You gotta work because you gotta make a living for you and this baby, and there's nobody's gonna help you. There's nobody's gonna work for you. So I continued and I continued and I continued, and then fortunately I got offered macro that I come for training because I had applied. So yeah, went for the whole process and then I went for training and then I quit outside and then I went for training. So I had to remain at the Val in December and stay so that I can go for training. After training, they're like, we'll call you. So now I had to actually beg at home that guys, if there's something, maybe they're gonna call me for a job because I just got trained. So can I come and cruise for like a month? They have the same house where it doesn't even feel like a home. I go back there and now I'm expecting, what do I say to them? So now I go back there and then at macro they don't call. Stayed for a month and then they're like, my uncle actually had it from your aunt because I was actually hiding. That umuntu also feel like, you're so ungrateful. We give you a chance, you come back, you're pregnant, leave. So luckily I had saved some money from the tips that I would make from the job, from the gig at the campus corner. And I managed to rent a place. I had nothing. The only thing I had, the 3 pots I had at rest, my clothes, a few stuff that I had. And God is so good. I'm so convinced, even though now I'm so hurt. But I'm convinced that He cares about Abantwana Bakhe. So I get there where I rented. The landlord was like, we have a bed, we can borrow you. I'm like, oh, thank God. So I had a bed. I didn't have much. And I'm not that person who actually calls out to people for help and stuff. So I only had like rent for 2 months. So I was hoping we're gonna call it macro. I stayed there for a month. And then, to be honest, I was not even following up with the doctor's visits and stuff. I told myself I'm gonna book like when I'm like 6 months. At the time I was 4. I was so angry at myself. Why do you do this to yourself? I kept on, blaming myself. And I remember when I had actually, told myself that it's time to change. A baby's a blessing. Be positive. things are gonna work out for you good. Started encouraging myself with the word of God. I'm like, oh God, I even hate my mom more because she's not even here. This is gonna be my second baby. Is this baby gonna leave or what? Unfortunately, happened again for the second time. I'm there renting a place.
So can I ask you something? Just so sorry to interrupt you there. I want to find out from you what is the cause of these miscarriages that you are having?
I think most probably it was stress.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I think if you are following very well, you can actually tell that
It's
both
very
of them,
stressful,
it's been hell, not having a family, not having a supportive partner, and all that.
Okay.
So now I was way beyond depressed. Not even knowing what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't even know where you're going to get money for you to actually pay rent, be able to carry on. Encouraging yourself to stay strong for the baby, that you don't even know what success was and if we are and stuff. I had it again. I don't want to get into details. I'm so traumatized. Now, here's the tricky part. Now, my ex-gay, he's at home, so now he gets an offer. He comes to Joburg. He got a job. And then he had to go to his father's house at Albert and stay there. So he stayed there. I was there struggling, still dealing with the trauma I went through of the second loss. Things got bad there a little bit. So he reached out to say, hey, this
Let
is
me
what
get
I'm
you
going
pregnant
through.
again for the third time now.
So I'm like, oh my God. So now, to be honest, I just want to be honest. This time I'm like, okay, he has a job. I've got nothing. Let me just go and be in his missus because I'm gonna afford to stay here for like a month. I just lost a baby, and guess what? I think a week before I actually moved out to go to him, his aunt actually called to say, oh, you were quiet. We know you lost another baby. What do you think is gonna be with somebody who can't even give birth?
Wow.
Now I started receiving insults from the other side. And remember, during my first pregnancy, I actually went there to stay there for a month. So got to know them better and that was not by choice. I was desperate. I had nowhere to go and stuff. So now they call again, insults, and I'm like, just imagine, I just came across this and now I'm receiving such insults. What is going on? So now, and then it happens that now, there's issues there by his father's place, so he actually has to move out. So guess what? Now God comes through at Macro. They're like, come work for us. So I actually made a choice that let me just relocate. We'll find a place and stay together. I'm going to stay with the person whom I lost his baby, who didn't care. Now I feel like I'm being used because now he's got issues and now he feels he needs me just because he's got issues. He needs a shoulder. And remember, I had no one. God had to, send me to rent into the place where I'll actually get a bed. At least I actually had a bed where I'll actually feel a little comfortable, although it was not everything. So now I have to leave again and actually convince myself at that time that it's going to be better. I go, I stay. Persevered. Well, to be honest, we never spoke about those pregnancies. We never went discussed anything about them because I thought I'm just gonna be here until I get something serious, and then I can leave. That's what I told myself. And guess what? Started falling in love again, lying to myself, convincing myself. Convincing myself. And then last year, to be honest, things got better, although we were not having conversations about this lost babies, and I was dying inside, always crying, flashbacks, blaming myself. You don't love yourself, Victoria. How can you do this to yourself? You don't have a mom, you don't have anybody, and you just allow somebody to, use you as a trash can. Whenever they need you, you go running, but when they have to be there for you, they don't even leave. You sacrifice a single thing. So now and then, fast forward, last year again, things were a little better. I got a better job. The contract ended at Macro. And then I graduated for my diploma at VET. And then, unfortunately, again, here is me expecting for the third time. To be honest, I was happy because I'm like, okay, for the first time, I'm going to give this baby a child. I'm going to say, God answered me. because now things are better. At least, the relationship is a little stable, although the question is the baby's part. Nobody's saying anything about it. The fact that I was insulted at the other side, and now they're actually pretending as though they're happy with staying together. They see I'm doing my part. I'm a good woman.
I'm a
He looks
man.
good. I'm cleaning for him. I cook for him. I dress him up and all that. For the same person that went all out to screw me and never even defended me with it when the family insulted me. We expected again. Unfortunately, now the baby died inside. It was like 6 months. I'd given the baby a name, named the baby Unkarabile, because I'm like, okay,
now I don't
maybe
have a
God,
lot
this
of
time you want to do
stresses.
things differently. I'm going to heal. This baby's going to bring joy. Now we are okay with my meds. We've fixed a lot of things. Things are going to be better. Chiki nangumntana ushonela ngaphakathi for a week. I didn't even know what was happening because I could not even feel movements anymore, So I decided, no, let me go consult, because I actually spoke to one of the old women that we used to stay with, where we're actually renting, that, hey, I think I have a challenge. I no longer feel the kicks and stuff. And I was not even bleeding. It was just still, there was nothing hectic at all. I never even suspected. Went to the hospital only to find out that it's like that. For the first time, now my partner actually felt he's hurt. I messed up twice. Now at least I have a chance. I'm gonna love you with the baby. I'm gonna take care of you and all that. We lost the baby. For the first time, seeing him breaking down. And guess what? After that, he lost his job. So now, we lost the baby. He lost his job. We only have imali for like maybe 2 months. I got so terribly sick. Sometimes I changed color. It was grey for like a month. At some point I could not even go and consult because there was no money for me to go to the hospital. We had to save to eat. So I kept on telling myself, Nizopola, we'll pray, I'll be okay. I remember calling my mother's name every single day saying, oh, Busi, can you just appear in my dreams and tell me it's gonna be okay? Why? Why me? I was only 24. Why is only listening to the game? Just imagine I just got my qualification,
Got a job.
and this was my biggest achievement in life. At least this is the first thing I get to celebrate for myself. Now I'm thinking, oh wow, akfani, people can judge me. At least the hand uni diploma nyana, fine, and now my partner, she rides and stuff, and we lose the baby. It was hell. So now, the funny part is now that the family started supporting. They're like, until Ukai gets something and stuff. They were helping and helping and helping and helping. Fast forward this year. Now this is where I really I am asking everyone to pray for me, because now I'm in a point where I feel like I want to die. So now I got a job as an education assistant. He got a job at Centurion. He's an accountant. He's an intern, but the salary is quite okay. So a month ago, no, it's 2 months ago actually. Yeah, it's 2 months ago. Okay, missed my period. I'm like, oh wow, no ways, this can't be happening. I'm really not ready for this. But anyway, things look very serious between us. Things are so fine. He's here. I'm there for him, and his family is happy and stuff. I get we're expecting. And only to find out that it's an ectopic pregnancy. So, we started fighting, arguing for like a week. And I'm going through all the hurt, the pain,
reliving the pain
the
of the
trauma,
past.
all that. And then now, we're Christians, I tell myself that God knows, man. God knows. Honestly, there was no way that I could actually pray and say, God, why me? And I never even had the nerve and the guts to actually approach God. I was like, it's fine, I don't care anymore. If this is my life, so be it. I really, really, really don't care. God, if this is your will, it's okay, even though it hurts. I was so weak to a point. I'm like, I was not mad anymore, but I was like, you know what? It's okay. It's beyond me. It's something I can't control. I don't even know how. I don't even know the how part and all that. And now my partner went home for a funeral at home, and then when he comes back, it's like to me, I don't have much, but I feel now I want to marry you. At least I can take something at your place so that they can see and all that. This is where I actually felt I'm actually gonna fall apart. He sends me to go home and actually ask me, like I told you, how do you do things and stuff. So I tell him, no, like, like culture, you have to send a letter and stuff. So he's like, okay, I'll prepare myself at the other side. Guys, I actually bought a ring to propose me. So now, but then, although I knew already, but then we can't escape the fact that we are Black people. We have to do things in an African way, right? We can't run away from such. Although I felt a would you marry me surprise kind of thing would have been nice and stuff. But anyway, I was happy now that now it's crossing over to marriage and stuff. Although it's been hectic here and there. So now. I think on last week, Sunday, he actually sent his mother a voice note to say, Mama, I think I want to marry this lady. She's been taking care of me. She loves me. She's given me so many chances that I don't deserve. We've been through a lot. She's a good woman, Guess what? That's not going to happen. She can't even give birth. How on earth would you ever marry somebody who's lost kids 3 times? Remember, we haven't even mentioned about the ectopic pregnancy. What is going on? Are you mad? Are they bewitching you? What is the family doing to you? I think you should leave the girl. And guess what? All this time, they've been playing along, acting as though they appreciate me. They're happy now, things are okay and stuff. And then now, the part I didn't mention is that 2 years ago, he actually started abusing me. I remember when I was expecting my third child, our second, when I went back, Nanjapa. So, like, even after the thingy, the ectopic one, I don't know, I somehow feel like he's actually blaming me indirectly for the losses. So he started beating me up. Well, he told me he wants to marry me, but then that week when he came back from home, there were little incidences, and then he assaulted me, I think, like more than 3 times in a row. So, like, now I'm caught in between. So, uyangena la sisi, ushaywa. Manje uyathukwa, you can't even give birth, this and that and that and that.
Young for these things.
Ini and stuff. So now, and he's like to me, no, I'm going to go home and convince my mom. I'm like, you know what? I think I need to make real decisions now about my life. Because I actually just realized that it means all this time, you and your family, they were okay that when your father kicked you out at your place, I came and picked you up from your broken pieces, helped you rise when I had lost a second child and you were not saying anything about it. I had to pause my healing for you. And they were happy that at least I'm there. But at the other side, I was assaulted. Yeah, and now that they know we're staying together, like, oh, hi, it's okay, living right there, just because it was actually working out for his side and not for me. And now that he's like, I want to make a decision. I'm actually making a decision of, wanting to marry you, and all of a sudden they turn. And now my birthday is next month. I'm turning 25 next month, and I remember 2 days ago I had to sit down and think of what I really want to do with my life. Lost kids 4 times. Now those ones they showed me their true colors. So basically I was just here as a tool of abuse to be used and stuff. And guess what? He never even stood up for me to say, no, Mama, you can't say that the babies that you're actually talking about that you lost are also my children.
My sister, hey, you know what? the people that are, everybody's abusing you, including this man that wants to marry you. And for me, you know, I'm a straightforward person. I hope you're not following me for the first time today. I hope you have been watching my content. I'm a very straightforward person. So I honestly feel like the reason why he wants to marry you is just that he wants to lock you up so that he can abuse you proper without anybody else disturbing you. Because once you are locked in that marriage, then everybody can just do whatever they want with you. I'm not going to decide for you and tell you to leave this man. I'm not going to say like the other lady was saying here, or maybe the reason why the baby passed away was because God was saving you from a baby who's going to be something else. But I kind of feel like to a certain degree, this connection that you are trying so hard to have to this man is a connection that God does not want for you. You get what I'm saying? So I literally feel like you are setting yourself up for failure. Not only, like, for me, I feel like this guy's family and all the stuff that they have to say to you, it's the bare minimum. It's literally nothing compared to what the actual guy is doing to you and what he has done for you. You are way too young. People your age have not even thought of having the first baby, you know, and already what you've been through is a lot. I can relate because I also went through a lot of stuff at a young age. But all I can tell you is that all these things that you are seeing right now, trying to convince yourself whether this relationship is the one or not, those are just trauma bonds. You are literally traumatized to the core, not only by the relationship that you've had with this man, him abusing you, but from your upbringing as well. You have a lot of healing that needs to take place from like the deepest part of you. Like you literally need to go fetch that, I don't know how many, the 5-year-old Victorias, the 10-year-old Victorias. There's a lot of healing that you need to do going all the way back. And this healing has absolutely nothing to do with anybody else but you. And I feel like we can always use other people as an excuse of why they don't want things for me, why this and that. But in all honesty, I feel like the amount of work that needs to be put in, it's got absolutely nothing to do with anybody else out there. It's got everything to do with you. I feel like at some point in your life, you'll need to get to a point where you make a decision to say, I'm going to choose Victorious now. I'm going to step out and just leave everything as it is and focus on me and my healing, and not attach your healing to you having a baby, not attach your healing to you having a man or a guy that wants to marry you and lock you up and abuse you more, and his family that literally sees you like a doormat that this man sees you as. Because it's not only his family that sees you as a doormat. This man is the one that showed them that, listen guys, I bought a doormat, here it is, you can wipe your feet whichever way you like. So he's no angel in this whole thing, you know. And I'm not gonna say to you leave this guy, but what I would say to you is take your time, invest in yourself, in your own healing, without attaching it to him, what he's feeling, what his family has to say, their opinion or anything like that. Focus on you. Like, take your time and just all of it, all of these things that you need to be healing from, all of these things that are happening on the inside of you, everything that you have gone through, focus on you. Put everything on you. Just immerse yourself in whatever it is that you've been through, what you need to go through, what you need to heal from, without involving other people. When you are done with that process, then you will actually realize that, no man, I actually am a cream. Good, like I'm a beggar. These people, they're reducing me, they're reducing me to absolutely nothing. They don't even, not even a single person in that family deserves you, including that boyfriend of yours. That's one thing I can tell you. But I'm not going to tell you what to do. All I can say to you is take your time and think about you. Put you first. Prioritize the things that you need. And when you get your healing, because I always speak about us having a box of things that we need to heal from on a daily basis. I always say that every day there's something that you need to be taking out of that box, things that you've been through in the past that you need to heal from every single day. So I literally feel like your box is big. It's got a whole lot of things that you just want to generalize it by healing from everything, by saying, I want to do it with this man. I want to do it in the presence of this man, or doing it together with this man. Literally, your healing should have absolutely nothing to do with this man. I need you to understand that you need to embark on your healing journey alone. You are in the desert alone. Don't involve anybody. This has absolutely nothing to do with anybody but you. Once you have healed, or once you have gotten, you know, your hang of things in terms of you getting your healing and all of the stuff, you will actually get to see things the way that I am seeing them and the way that everybody on this slide is seeing them. Because I believe that as you are speaking, you are reading the comments and you are seeing what other people are saying. Me, I believe from the bottom of my heart that you will have babies. It's just that I don't know whether you're gonna have babies with this same man that is abusing you, whether this man is deserving of having a baby like with you. But I feel like babies are still coming, but it's a matter of Who is deserving of having a baby with you? I can tell you now, this man and his family, they're not even deserving of not even an inch, not even a toe, not even a nail nyana or a hair piece nyana of you. They don't deserve any of that. You are way, they don't even deserve even a share of you. All of them.
They actually told me he actually told me like a week ago that I actually heard what his mother said, so he asked me to, at the end of the month, to pack and leave. So now I'm here. I am so scared. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm a medication assistant. My contract is ending in September. We only get paid like 4,000 rand. So here I am. I'm looking for a place. I don't even know where to start because everything that is here is his. And the only thing that I actually want for myself is to gather strength. I don't care if I'm going to have this or having to, worry about having to start over. Without having this or that. I am so much willing because I can actually see that I've fooled myself. And I saw a comment of somebody who actually said she's actually looking for a family that she never had. That's actually true. I never had a mom, I never had a dad, I never had a family. So now, all my life, it's always been my dream that the only time I'm going to heal from the loss of my mom is when I have a child, when I'm able to laugh, to be a mom, to see how a mother sacrifices for her children and all. But what I can tell you is that at the end of this month, I'm leaving. I don't know how and when, but I am leaving and I'm not going to look back. I don't care what I'm going to face out there, but I am ready for anything. If I survived all this,
that's exactly what I wanted to say, my sister. To say, do you see the way that I'm smiling right now? Like literally, I feel like where you are at right now, you are elevated compared to the things that you've been through in the past and the things that you've overcome in the past. You are literally just going to be doing something which is familiar. You are familiar with this thing, but you're at a better position now because you even have a job. Like I'm smiling because I already know that you have already overcome this thing. You've already become victorious before you even embark on this. You don't even have to be scared because are you not familiar with starting from scratch and being scared and being alone? And worst part, when you had to do this before, you were just a student, you were just a kid, and you were even pregnant. Right now, you're not pregnant. You are at least still having a job that you can still do something until the end of whatever contract. And I'm praying that by the time the contract ends, something is gonna come up. But you are not literally, for me, my love, I feel like you're not starting from scratch the way that you did in the past. You get what I'm saying? I am smiling because I'm like, she got this. You are like the last person that I need to be worrying about right now, because if you've really bounced back from all of the stuff that you've bounced back from and you are still standing right, you are really standing here right now. There is no way. This is small waters. This is absolutely nothing compared to what you've been through in the past. And you're just going to apply, not even everything, just a bit of this and that from what you've experienced in the past to say, okay, last time I did this and that and I survived. This time around, I'm going to only take this and that. I'm going to add plus the fact that I still have a job now. I'm going to put things together. I have all this experience. You have nothing to worry about. You just keep pushing. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, man. Whew. Yo, guys. Yeah, but unfortunately we've gone way beyond our time. I see a lot of people were busy saying here that we should do a part 2. Yes, definitely we have to do a part 2. We're gonna do a part 2 on Sunday at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when I'll be back here in the Bundus, so that we can sit proper in this place and have this conversation, continue with it. For those who would like to continue sharing their stories, let's do the live on Sunday at 5 o'clock South African time. And yeah, man, let's help one another where we can. If there's something that you feel like maybe you can do to help Victoria out, or anybody else for that matter, there's a number which is on my bio. Check that number out. Reach out to me. Also, you can reach out to Victoria. Victoria, I don't know, where are you based? I don't know if maybe you would be comfortable sharing any information like that, because I would love to sponsor you for a ticket to come to our 2nd annual women's conference, because I feel like that's something that you will definitely need, and you will heal from, and you will learn a lot from ladies who have been through what you've been through and worse. Okay, that ticket is going to be from my own pocket. Please do also take the number which is on my bio and send my PA a message on WhatsApp. If you will be available, check the dates, check your nearest, because I have 2 conferences which are coming up for the month of August. Check whichever one that you will be closer to. And then if you will be available, we'll get you a ticket and we will see you there. I'm telling you, you will be okay. Trust and believe, you are going to be okay. I have no doubt
Thank you
about
so
that.
much for the support. I'm based at Soweto at Chiawero,
Awesome.
and I would really, really, really appreciate. I think what I need right now is, somebody to hold my hand to actually tell me I can do it. Somebody said in the comment section, she's actually victorious. You guys just gave me the strength, and you just took the fear away that I actually had. I started over so many times without anybody, alone, no backup. I went to school to go and get that qualification, although I'm still trying to gather, experience and all that. And thank you for actually telling me how much I'm actually gonna make it. I believe that. I would actually appreciate the ticket. I'm so excited. I need healing. I'm gonna do anything to get healed.
Yeah, please
So,
do
yes,
the number
thank you
up.
so much. I will send my number.
Yeah, please check the number out and just comment and just send a WhatsApp text. And anybody who's here would like to help her out with anything whatsoever, also check that number out and contact my PA and see how we can help her. And for those who have been asking to donate tickets, today I've put a video out there to say you can actually still, there's an FNB account that we can use now. We are no longer only using CompuTicket, we're using both. So we can use that also to donate tickets, because usually the tickets that people donate are the tickets that I give away to people who are calling during the live sessions. When I feel the need that somebody really needs that ticket, that's when I give them away. So you are more than welcome to use that number as well to inquire about how you can donate a ticket and whatnot. But listen, Victoria, you are gonna come back on this live or some other live or somewhere on some platform, and you're gonna take a clip from this live. You're gonna go find it on YouTube one day. You're gonna take a clip from this live, and you're gonna testify about your life and the goodness of God in your life so many years after this. I'm telling you, that much I can tell you. That much I can tell you. And with all these people that are just vouching and rooting for you, I'm telling you, God, it's from our mouths and our heart's desires to God's ear. Okay?
Thank you oh my God.
You are most
Thank you so
welcome, my
much.
darling. You are most welcome.
Thank you so much. May God bless everyone. I don't know. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, baby girl.
Thank you.
All right, and that is, we've come to the end of our live for today, for only part 1, because obviously the people have spoken. The people are requesting that we do a part 2 for the stories of us losing our babies. And the one thing that I'm always looking forward to is giving tickets to people that I feel like they're deserving of coming to the conference and reaching out to more people. You get what I'm saying? So let's meet at the 2nd Annual Women's Conference. Those who will be in Pretoria, let's meet on the 12th of August. Those who will be in Polokwane, let's meet on the 25th of August. One live at a time, one conference at a time, one camp at a time. We are going to heal hearts. We are going to heal as a nation, okay? We're going to hold each other's hands as women. We're going to love each other. We're going to support each other. And we're going to do everything that we've always wanted to be done for us to be a better nation, okay? Making it safe for our kids. I love you so much, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll meet Sunday. I'm going to do another video, a smaller video, just to announce that we're going to do a part 2 of this live of losing a baby and life after that. I'm going to put it up on all my socials so that on Sunday at 5 o'clock, we do the live, we do the part 2. I would like to emphasize on those who could not go through on this live, because so many people have been requesting that when we go live on Sunday, the minute you see me going on live, you just come and request so that you'll be the first one to speak, and then we keep it moving like that. I love you so much, guys. I really appreciate your input. I really appreciate you engaging and comforting people in the comment sections, and those who have joined in and shared their stories with the hope to heal other people. Thank you so much. God bless you and good night. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you've missed any parts of this live, because this live is quite long, but it's life-changing, if you've missed any parts of this live, the whole live is available on YouTube under the topic losing a baby, having another baby after losing your first child. So we'll meet again on Sunday. I love you guys. God bless you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.